Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Exposing the abundant hypocrisy. Of course, exposing the non-stop lies, misinformation, and frankly ignorance of these leftist activist people and of course these blue anon Twitter creeps. And when I say those words specifically, blue anon Twitter creep, what's the first image that pops to your mind? Whose face pops up in your deep subconscious? Now I know there's a lot of characters. There's that Tiedrick character, the Krasenstein bros, those TikTok millennials, Harry Sisson and his friend who is so irrelevant, I literally forget his name every time, John Cooper, who I just searched and apparently he blocks me. What a character. But the king, or arguably the queen, of leftist Twitter creeps, and the person whose image should have definitely popped up in your mind first, is of course none other than Keith Olbermann. This guy's mere existence is a master class on how to be a dishonest leftist. And there's this really funny interaction that I'd love to show you guys on Twitter featuring Community Notes and CNN. CNN was forced on air to actually confirm the truth. Let's just say the truth isn't so favorable to the leftist narrative. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, you know we spend a lot of time covering narratives, following the news, figuring out what's really going on, but it seems like these leftoids on Twitter, man, either they're purposefully ignorant, they do it on purpose, or they're just, not following. They're severely misinformed and you might even say ignorant. As the whole Trump indictment situation unfolds, many people are pointing out the clear double standard related to Hillary Clinton and her email servers. Representative Nancy Mace writes on Twitter, Hillary Clinton used a hammer to destroy evidence of a private email server and classified information on that server and was never indicted. The same standard should apply to everyone, including Donald Trump. And of course, with any statement like this from a high-profile Republican official, we'll always bring out the reply guys, the Twitter resistance. Keith Olbermann leads the charge. You know that didn't happen, right? Are you okay? You seem to have been hallucinating a lot lately. Keith Olbermann comes out and says that didn't happen. Oh really, Keith Olbermann? That didn't happen? Huh. The instant fact check, these beautiful community notes. Step in to clear the record. Keith Olbermann gets fact checked by the Twitter community. Some devices from Hillary Clinton were in fact destroyed by hammer. Then it gets even worse for the dishonest leftist narrative, as people are now linking this clip, essentially debunking these leftist Twitter lies by using leftist Twitter liars at CNN who unfortunately had to admit the truth on this issue. Here's a great little flashback from back in probably 2017, 2018.
President, they destroyed BlackBerries with hammers in the State Department. That's not what one the president said.
Actually,
and
Evan,
hold on. Can you fact check that? Hang on, Evan Perez. Hammers, fact check that for me, please, on the fly.
Yes, they did, Brooke. As you mentioned, there were 13 devices, mobile devices, and 5 iPads that the FBI said that, in some way were used with her private email server, and they did, in some cases, just destroy them with hammers when they were done using them.
That's a pretty good way of just. Her training, no, it's not. That is absolutely not following the rules and regulations of the State Department. You know it. Your 52 reasons just went down to 1. No reasons left. Listen.
Did you see the look on his face and even her face? How reluctant they are to tell the truth about the other side? How scary it is for them at the Clinton News Network to have to admit the truth about the Clintons and their criminal activity? These leftoids don't even know, man. They don't even know basic facts. They don't know some of the most important news reporting related to topics that they're discussing that they pretend to be the authorities about online. That never happened. Either you're a malicious liar, or frankly, you're dumb and don't know what's going on. You're ignorant. They don't get the clear double standard, or they don't care about the clear double standard. They don't get how Joe Biden is currently weaponizing the DOJ to go after his political opponent, and the clear contrast, the clear distinction, how Donald Trump and his Justice Department during his administration explicitly refused to engage in witch hunts. Someone responded to that clip that I just showed you, writing, here's my question. If it was a crime, why didn't Trump's Justice Department prosecute? Well, that's a great question. Maybe it's because the leftist perspective on issues like this is completely backwards. cowards. They claim that Donald Trump is an evil fascist who weaponized the DOJ to go after his political opponents. They made that claim many times, but clearly the facts state otherwise. Trump's DOJ didn't go after political opponents. Again, it's those two options. Either these leftists are horrible, unethical, terrible people who are willing to lie, who are willing to stand idly by as the US government plunges into authoritarian banana republic tactics, or they're just dumb and brainwashed. I think it's a little bit of a mix of both. I think someone like Keith Olbermann knows that he's lying, yet he's going to push the narrative regardless because his entire online persona kind of depends on it. And then, of course, you have the average leftist who follow clowns like this and legitimately believe what they're saying, not looking into the other side, probably didn't pay attention to the community notes, or probably think that community notes are actually just rigged. It's an Elon Musk conspiracy theory where community notes only flow in one direction. And you know what? If you're not paying attention, you might think that's the case because mostly community notes are right-wingers debunking leftist lies. That has more to do, I think, with leftists spreading misinformation on a near consistent basis, more so than it has to do with some sort of inherent bias within the actual algorithm itself. If you exist in a leftist Twitter space, a leftist media space in general, then most likely the information that you're receiving is propaganda. Hardcore propaganda. That's something that people have to come to terms with. You know, the perfect example is Reddit, for instance. Nearly the entirety of Reddit, especially when it pertains to political subreddits, is a total leftist echo chamber. It is moderated to an extreme level. You could be 100% right, but if your opinion, or if your sources, if your article, if your facts, data, is making an argument, a point, stating a fact that comes from a perceived conservative angle, you'll get deleted. You'll get moderated. Moderators instantly will ban you from the forum or remove your post. These are the bubbles that leftoids live in. Highly curated leftist echo chambers where people are existing in a fake news bubble. You know, it's what I always mention in these situations. You have leftoids who literally still believe that Kyle Rittenhouse was a racist mass shooter who took the lives of 3 innocent Black Lives Matter protesters, when the reality is he was chased, shot at by 3 white Antifa crazed militants who were convicted felons, and 2 of them were convicted pedos. The only way that you can be that misinformed about a major political topic, a major happening event that was the #1 news story probably in the world for months on end, is if you have leftist brain. And by leftist brain, I mean as if you operate in a leftist echo chamber and don't have the ability to critically think or challenge what is being presented to you. It's your brain on TikTok, your brain on CNN, your brain on MSNBC, your brain on Blue Anon conspiracy theories, your brain on Reddit. A fascinating phenomenon. And we're seeing it once again with this Trump indictment. I mean, the whole initial claim was that Donald Trump had flushed documents down the toilet, that he was destroying evidence, or that he planned on selling top secret, classified national security documents to the Russians. He did none of that. Hillary Clinton definitely destroyed records of classified information, smashing cell phones and destroying and bleach-bitting hard drives. Leftoids don't know this. They're living in a world of make-believe, where Eric Swalwell posts a propaganda photo of boxes of documents next to Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago toilet bowl, and he claims these are national defense documents and classified information, when clearly we know that that's not the case, based on the DOJ's actual logs of the raid itself. But leftoids believe it hook, line, and sinker, and now they believe that the Espionage Act here is justified. The Espionage Act was intended to prohibit interference with military operations or recruitment, prevent insubordination in the military, and to prevent the support of United States enemies during wartime. It's a statute that criminalizes a broad array of conduct related to the mishandling of sensitive government records connected to national defense, a term generally referring to military records that, if disclosed, could damage U.S. national security. While Hillary Clinton possessing sensitive classified information on an unsecured private server might fit that bill, but she was never charged with the Espionage Act. Donald Trump possesses these documents in a secure location with Secret Service protection round the clock, and supposedly he violated the Espionage Act. Supposedly he's a spy, mishandling sensitive government records, and his actions could have led to these documents landing in the hands of foreign enemies. Give me a break. Oh, did you read the indictment? Did you read the transcript? Yes, I read it. I didn't just read a headline or watch a Keith Olbermann Biden's soy face meltdown video. I read it. It's far from conclusive evidence that Donald Trump mishandled these documents or even showed the actual document to anyone. But of course, if your brain is suffering from blue anon disease, well then, you wouldn't know that. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. You know we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.